here. Welcome back to the Gear Obsession channel. It's Tuesday. Tuesday? The day that I post my Tuesday video. I usually post my videos on Tuesday, and then I also post again on Friday. I try to stick to that schedule, so if you're trying to get my schedule down, there it is. So, in this video, I will be doing an unboxing, and we're going to be doing a little bit of testing too on another Bear Grylls knife. This is the bigger one, or the biggest one. It's the Fixed Blade Ultimate Survival Knife. You should be able to find it for about $50, $60 depending on if you get it at Dick's Sporting Goods or China Mart or any place like that. So I'll let you take a close look at the packaging really quick, and then we'll go ahead and start the unboxing. So again, another one of these cardboard packages. So we'll go ahead and bust this thing open. So let's take a look at what you get in the box. You get the sheath, you get a fire stick, you get a Bear Grylls Priorities of Survival Guide, and you get the knife with a tip protector. It has a nice little bit of weight to it. You know what? This feels pretty solid. I like the feel of this knife. Pretty good. So it has a lanyard, has a whistle that's probably sounds pretty cheesy. I bet you it sounds to the equivalent of being caught riding a moped. Yep. Oh man, yelling for help like that. Get a whistle with some muscle for the low heat. Anyway, it does feel pretty comfortable, and the weight is pretty good. As a matter of fact, let's go ahead and weigh this. So the weight is 8.2 ounces. And the length of the blade, I have a ruler here. See, I didn't go by the specs that are written down. I decided to go ahead and do it the real way. Looks like about a 4.5-inch blade. So pretty good. Now, again, very debatable. Not a big fan of these combo blades where you have all these serrations, and there is a lot. I gotta turn this thing over, sorry. There is a lot of serrations taking up the blade. And I'll tell you what I really have issue with, okay? If you have to baton, okay, now I know some of you might not know what batoning is, and that's like, if this were a small log and you had to split it, you would put the blade on here, then you would get another stick, and you'd beat this side of the blade down. Right here, you'd go ahead and beat that down to help split the log. And this knife can do it. There are other videos you'll find on YouTube where people are batoning with this knife, and it will do it. However, the problem is that after doing it a little bit, you're going to kill these serrations. And that's why I'm not a big fan of serrations on survival knives. So, you know, this is a good, again, a survival knife that'll probably be good for, you know, a short survival stay, you know, 3 or 4 days, like a 3-day bag or a bug-out bag of some sort, but more of a short term. But, you know, I mean, like you're out in the wild for a day, and then you find yourself to that luxury hotel in the evening. You know what I'm talking about, Bear Grylls, right? Anyway, but you know, there it is, and you can see his name on there. Again, it's a, you know, typical Gerber blade. There's really nothing special. I could go over all the fancy words, drop point, all that stuff, but you all know what it all You know what it looks like, right? Anyway, it has 2 holes here, so in the words of Bear Grylls, you can lash it to a stick. You can sort of make it into a spear. Now, early in the production, for the first couple of months that this was out, there was some issue with the pommel breaking off, and supposedly Gerber has fixed that. And I'm looking at this, it's funny. Looks like Gerber has fixed it by putting a lot more glue on there. It looks like they really gooped a lot of glue in there. That looks pretty sad. I'll go ahead and take the excess off. But while I'm doing that, again, you can get this for about $50, $60. And I really do like the feel of this knife. So anyway, I want to see if they actually fixed this pommel. So before we go on to the rest of the stuff, I have here a piece of wood. And I have some nails. And I'm going to beat these nails into this stick and see if the pommel busts off. So let's see. Probably going to break something on the desk. You know what? The whistle's in a bad place. I'm going to bust the whistle. I'm going to take the whistle off. But it hasn't broke off yet. Well, the pommel is still on there. Let's try another one. Problem is I don't have a very hard surface. Alright. Well, and they were supposedly breaking off pretty easy, and I probably would have already broke it off by now. So it looks like they got it fixed. The other issue I have with it is on my long-term survival knives, I like to have something that's full tang. Obviously, this is not full tang because they got this big metal pommel on the back. That's why I would probably prefer something like a K-bar, marine fighting knife over this for my long-term survival. But because it also has a good pommel on the back, but it's also full tang. So that did pretty good. Let's see how sharp it is out of the box. Now, someone said I should do it slow. So there we go, nice and slow. They said I should do my cut test a little bit slower. So there we go. So I'll do slow and I'll do fast. So it's pretty sharp out of the box, if I do say so myself. It is pretty sharp. I'm very happy with that. So it looks like they got the pommel thing fixed. Again, these things come with a lifetime warranty, so if they do break, you can send them back to Gerber. And again, I'd just like to say that Gerber did realize there was a problem and did fix it, so any of the new ones out there should be fine. And looks like these were able to beat the nails in with no problem. Now, the knife is not all the neat things you get with this. You also get that cheesy whistle. You get this nice sheath. Now this sheath is actually pretty nice. I think my only criticism is on the nylon is only single stitched. If I'm having a long-term survival kind of thing with me, I would prefer double stitching around everything. But it's adequate. This is kind of chintzy. Up here actually it's kind of stretchy too. I don't know about that. But there's so many reviews out there, and really you don't need it. It's not going to go anywhere. You don't really need that top strap. It's not coming out unless you're getting chased by a bear. Grylls. But it locks in there because of this here. So that's pretty good. And there's also this little doodad that holds the fire stick. So you just punch that fire stick in there. It's pretty tight, and when you need it, you just pull it out. So that's really neat. And then this is what sold me on it, because I wasn't going to buy it even with all this stuff until I saw that it had this, and I thought this was a great idea. Personally, it has a diamond stone. It's not really a stone, it's a diamond impregnated piece of metal but you use that, it has a weird sort of angle to it, ramp to it. You could use that to sharpen your knife. So, you know, you're running around in a survival situation, you might not have a way of sharpening it, and you have it built in right there. So that's pretty neat. I think that's a nice idea. Now the case does not have any other, it would have been nice if it had some holes here so you could maybe put another string around your leg to hold it more secure, but that's alright. Also, besides having the belt loop here, it has a belt loop to go sideways, to mount it sideways on your belt. And it also has some surface to air or land to air, whatever you want to call it, signals to like a rescue aircraft. So you could tell it to, yes, I need help, pick us up, or no, all is well. Need medical help, have a radio, drop a message, can proceed shortly, do not attempt to land, and needs medical assistance. So it has all those visuals there to give the aircraft. So that's kind of neat. And you also get the Bear Grylls survival knife. They got it wrapped up. They got it taped closed. Let's see. There you go. It's good for cutting open as guide. Well, they got more tape. They taped this up pretty good. Alright. It would have been nice again. I mean, it feels pretty tough, but I would have liked something that was totally waterproof for a long time. I mean, it feels like it might have a little bit of staying power. It's not like very cheesy, but has a lot of things, including how to make fire with a bow and fire saw, using a car battery, single fires, how to make shelter, how to make a wristwatch, or how to use a watch as a compass or a shadow stick so you know what time it is while you're lost out there, how to set up snares and traps, how to make knots, and how to collect water on this neat little guide. It also has, if you need to measure something, it has a ruler built on there. The photos are pretty small. It's okay. So, now, I notice when people on YouTube, want to start a fire, they got a fire stick, I cringe, absolutely cringe when I see this, where they take their blade down the fire stick and there you are, killing their blade. I can't believe people do that. But this has a little bit of coating sort of taken off the spine of the blade here, and that's what you use, that area right there, to put on the fire stick, and whoo, those flew. Oh, let's try that again. There we go. Make sure I got nothing on fire. Alright, so that works pretty good. And you can see the reason why it didn't work right away is there's a little bit of coating that had to come off that stick. But you can see right there the rest of it. So you have to get that coating off and then it starts working pretty good. So I'm going to save this for a survival situation. And that definitely can spark. Now I'm planning on doing, speaking of sparks and fires, I'm planning on doing a video about fire. That might be my Friday video instead of a tech video. Computer videos are a pain in the butt, and I'll tell you why. Because with videos of knives and guns and everything, the answers are, usually pretty simple most of the time, and you don't get too many questions, quite honestly. But when you do a computer video, it's like, I'm going to give you all the specs. If I have 166 RAM and 160 gig hard drive and this motherboard, can I put the, and you gotta, that You gotta like stop everything and spend about 30 minutes researching the specs and get an answer, and I don't have time for things like that. So those, the tech ones, I'm not gonna get as much views, and there's a lot of questions and everything. So and they're more in depth. So it's harder to do tech videos, absolutely. So see, I got some glue from this stuff. I just thought of something and I didn't want to leave it out in the video, so I'm sort of last minute sort of dubbing this in. And that is another argument against serrations on these knives. And that is, again, you're in a survival situation and you're whittling and doing some very fine things. Like you need that blade all the way down to here so you can, do some very fine work. And in this knife, your serrations are there. So you can't do your fine whittling and things like that with this knife either because of the serrations. So that's another downside to that. So I just wanted to add that real quick. And so anyway, if you want to use the pommel of the knife, the whistle gets in the way. So I'm going to put the whistle on the fire stick. And then put the fire stick in here. So I got this stupid thing. I don't know. I don't like it on. I don't like the whistle up here. Now, I'm not sure where you're supposed to put this. I believe another video someone shoved it down behind the single thing here, but that's kind of a tight fit. So I don't know, maybe it's better to commit this stuff to memory than trying to carry it in this thing. Now, this knife is ambidextrous as far as here because it can go into the sheath either way. So if you're left or right-handed, it can go in either way, left-handed or right-handed. Really nice. I don't like the strap here. Kind of cheesy, but all in all, for $50, you're getting a lot. You're getting, a sharpener, a fire stick. A fire stick alone costs $5. This sheath is, this hard part here and everything. Probably is worth a couple dollars itself. It's not the cheapest thing in the world like some knives are, but for a survival knife, there's two things I want in a survival knife. I want it like a K-bar, and I don't want serrations, and it needs to have a good pommel. Or, believe it or not, I know this is stupid, and I was looking for one. I was looking for the classic cheesy survival knife with the fishing kit and everything inside, the hollow handle. I always thought those were kind of neat, but what they did was, instead of having serrations on the blade itself, making it a combo blade, they usually have like a saw or something on the rib or on the spine of the blade on the top. So I think having that additional stuff on the top might be good, but don't mess around with the blade. Leave it a complete blade, not a combo blade. So again, this is good for a short survival stay, I think, in my book. It's again, you're out in the wild, and then in the evening you pack it up and go to the luxury hotel. So, what should I give this? I don't know. Let me back up here. I'll give it a. I gotta consider the price point of $49.95 or $49.95, and with everything you're getting, I mean, if it was just a knife alone, I'd probably give it a 6 or a 7, but because of all the extras that you get with this, even though I wish that there was double stitching on the entire sheath, but the cheesy whistle and the good fire stick and the sharpener and everything, I am going to give it a 7.5. A 7.5. And would I recommend it for a really good long-term survival knife? No. For a shorter term, no, you don't know because I'm saying it. A 3-day or 1 week or a camping kind of knife where you may get lost or something. Yeah, I think this definitely can fit the bill. It can serve pretty well, and it would hold up. Again, there's other videos out there on YouTube where people have batoning with this thing and beating it up, and it stays pretty sharp. It does a pretty good job holding its edge. Surprising for Gerber how well it does. For those of you who are really hypersensitive about Chinese stuff, it's Chinese, it's made in China. But I do want to state, when I was looking at a bunch of Gerber products, and no, it wasn't at Walmart, believe it or not. It was on base. I was looking at a lot of Gerber knives. Some of their multi-tools are actually still being made in the U.S. They might have some foreign parts, but they are assembled and made in the U.S. And again, there's a few select knives that are also made in the U.S. So they still do some stuff here. Be nice if they did more of their regular blades, or do more. Maybe as economic times change, and it'll end up costing more to import stuff, and maybe cheaper to be made here. Maybe they'll bring things back to the good old USA. So, with that said, I again really appreciate y'all coming back to the Gear Obsession channel. I appreciate every friend, viewer, and subscriber, and have a great evening.